Well, hello, hello. This is Rosa, rcgkreations. How are you doing? I'm bringing you to a recipe, and I was moving around and looking for something totally different. I don't know, but then this popped up, and it's homemade shake and bake mix. And I'm going, oh, what? And I happened to take out pork chops actually 2 nights ago, but hubby and I were exhausted, so we ended up having leftovers for dinner because we didn't feel like cooking. And so since they were taken out and put in the fridge, they were frozen, and we put them in the fridge to thaw out. We got to cook them tonight. So I'm sitting there. So I took out the pork chops, and I'm just sitting here, and I'm going, oh, okay. And I'm going. Then I came across this recipe, and I'm going, oh, okay. Well, let's have some shake and bake. I'll put them on, coat it, and put it on there. So let's put our mix together. I already kind of pretty much got a bunch of everything together. Now it does call for 4 cups dry breadcrumbs, 1/3 cup vegetable oil, 1 tablespoon of salt, tablespoon of paprika, 1 tablespoon celery salt, 1 teaspoon ground black pepper, 1/2 teaspoon garlic salt, 1 teaspoon minced garlic, 1/4 teaspoon minced onion, 1 pinch dried basil leaves, 1 pinch dried parsley, 1 pinch dried oregano. You put everything in a Ziplock baggie, shake it, shake it, shake it, and then you add it to your chops. Okay, now I'm going to be mixing this all in a bag, the Ziploc baggie. But if you always have extra left over, I'm actually going to put my pork chops in a quart-sized baggie, and I'll coat each one. That way, I don't contaminate all of my mix, and especially if I have leftovers. Okay, bear with me 1 second. I'm going to pause it. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. I am rehydrating some scalloped potatoes to make scalloped potatoes as a side dish. So I had to put it in the water because I got to soak in boiling hot water for 20 minutes. Alright, so let's get to mixing. So we're going to just put everything in the baggie. Now I went ahead, I didn't have any, I had none. And I have like 2 or 3 of everything, but I don't have any celery salt, no celery seed. I had nothing for celery, and I'm going, oh, but I did find my dehydrated celery, which is fresh celery, that I dehydrated. Have a little bit left, so I gotta go. I'm adding things to my list that I gotta replenish. So I just ground up my celery, and this is going to be, because a lot of these mixes, when they're store-bought, and you don't make it yourself, includes a lot of salt. So I don't like a whole lot of salt in my food. I'll salt my food when I at my plate, but not until then. So I'm not going to be. I don't care if I'm not using celery salt, because fresh celery is just as good. And I really wish we had smell-o-vision. So you could just taste the freshness of the celery. And making your own dehydrated stuff really, really is worth it. You can taste it in the flavor. Okay, so let's put in our breadcrumbs. So we're going to put our breadcrumbs in here. And if I don't spill. Yay, I didn't make a mess. Oh, hey, honey. Honey's home. You going to be in the video, honey? We're going to make a homemade shake and bake to go on our pork chops. He says, no, he don't want to go on the video. Okay, I'm going to do the oil in just a minute. 1 tablespoon of salt. So let's get our salt. Let me get my tablespoon. Okay, 1 tablespoon of salt. Let me get this cup so in case I spill, I can have an overflow. Okay, that's close enough for me. Again, like I said, I don't really care for a whole lot of salt, but that's good enough for me. Okay, I'll just put the little extra dribbles inside the bag. Next thing comes to 1 tablespoon of paprika. Here we got regular paprika. 1 tablespoon of that. You know, let me get this smaller. I'm going to get this little smaller spoon to use it as a scooper. That way if I have a spill, it's not a big spill. Okay, so we're going to do 1 tablespoon of paprika. Do a little bit more. Okay, oops. I'm just going to put it in my bowl. And then the little extra is going to go right in there. Okay, so that's the end of the paprika. Next thing we're going to do is 1 tablespoon of the celery. And since we're going to use our fresh ground celery, another tablespoon of that stuff. Let's see if that'll hold the weight. Nope, not going to hold the weight. That's okay. Fresh celery. Man, you could I could still smell the fresh celery. That smells so good. And what's nice about this, when you grind it yourself, you can grind it into big granules. Oops, I just spilled. Or continue to grind it some more and make it into a powder. That way you have celery powder. You do the same thing with the onion and all that. Okay, so there's the celery. There's the celery. Next thing is the ground black pepper. Oh, I hope I don't start sneezing. This always makes me sneeze when I open up this ground black pepper. So it's now that one is only 1 teaspoon, not a table. Everything else was a tablespoon as far as the herbs are concerned. But this one is 1 teaspoon of black pepper. Okay, so there's their black pepper. 1/2 teaspoon of the garlic salt. 1/2 teaspoon. 1/8. 1/4. 1 teaspoon. 1/2 teaspoon of the garlic salt, which I don't have garlic salt. All I have is garlic powder. But it's a brand new bottle. Okay, and it said 1/2 teaspoon of garlic salt. Since I'm omitting so much of this salt stuff, I'm going to add just a little bit of salt to the entire mix. And then 1/2 teaspoon of minced garlic, which I don't have, so I'm going to add another 1/2 teaspoon of the garlic powder to offset that. Let me just do just a little bit more, because I love garlic. So does hubby. Alrighty, I don't need this black pepper. I already used it, but I need to fill my container up. Okay, minced onion. Where's my minced onion? I know I have an onion. Okay, I don't need the black pepper. Oh, I need to go get myself and be right back. Go get me some onion powder. I think I still have my minced onions too. If I remember, yeah, I do. I got minced onions. Yay! Okay, so I do have my minced onion. Okay, so it asks for 1/4 teaspoon of minced onion. Okay, 1 pinch of dried basil leaves. And basil. Oh, this is hard. This is hard to open. Oh, bear with me. I'm going to get a knife because this is hard to open. I'm going to get hubby to open this up. And I'm going to use this basil leaf that's already open. I was supposed to use this one first anyway, because I always like to use my current stuff first before I get a brand new product. Okay, 1 pinch of dried basil leaves. 1 pinch. Just do a little bit more of a pinch because I like basil. And what's nice, another thing what's nice about when you make your own recipes is you can change it and modify it to what suits your palate. 1 pinch of dried parsley. And I have my regular parsley here, but I also have some dehydrated parsley, but I'm going to use this up because this is store-bought. Okay, so it's 1 pinch of dried parsley also. We're going to do just a little pinch more, by like half a pinch. Okay, and then 1 pinch of dried oregano. I know I had oregano. Where to put my oregano? I know I had it. I moved everything because I had to move things around. Oh, where's my oregano? Sorry, y'all, I gotta go back to my little storage area. I know I have oregano. I saw it. Cayenne, Mexican cloves, sage, dill, nutmeg, thyme, seasoning. Oh, here we go. Oh, it's almost empty. It's time to buy some more oregano. And one of these days, I'll be having my own garden, and I'm going to grow my own herbs. But I'm not there yet. 1 pinch of dried oregano. And now this is practically empty. Yep, that's close enough to a pinch. With a little bit extra. Okay, remember I got to order more of that. Okay, so you put everything in a bag, oil every bit of it, seal it, and then shake it up. But I'm going to be adding, this is that Raval Sooji. It's a, you know what, I'm going to open this other jar because that one's closed, sealed. I forgot to vacuum pack that. I was gifted that by a friend who had no idea what to do with it. She got it from her mother-in-law, who has no idea why she ordered it. Oh, let me get my mason jar opener. But the reason I kept it is because it's a great addition to your cooking needs, and because it's a grain. And I did a lot of reading on it. In fact, I did a video on it. I'll do a link. I'll put the link on that in the description box. And it's like a cornmeal grain. And since this is a coating, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of this stuff. Number 1, so I could use it up. Number 2, I don't know anything about it. I just read up. I did a lot of reading on a lot of different sites on how to use this. But a lot of people use them in making like pastries. They use it in coatings, bacon. So I'm hoping this works out okay. I have to go get my other lid on that thing. Close this to make myself more room. And then, so this is a new product for me. And since I ended up donating, I think it was a 50-pound bag, and it was like 20 of these bags that I got. I'll never go through all that, so I only kept 2. Vacuum packed 1, and the rest I put in jars for easy use. So I'll know. So I know I have it, so I can use it up. So now we're going to do the 1/3 cup. Oh, honey, would you get the pork chops and put them on a cookie sheet? I'll actually get the cookie sheet full of foil, so it can drain the oil. Because I'm going to put them on a rack. So that way the coating doesn't come off. Okay, so we're going to put this. You know what? I'm not going to do the oil in that yet because I don't want it to. Once I've used this, I can't store this. I'm going to put my oil in here. And then I'll put all this in there. You know what? I'm going to change my mind. I'm just going to go ahead and follow the recipe. Because again, like I said, this is my first time making it. And if I like it, I'll just make a dry batch. But I'll put a note in the bag to add oil when I get ready to use it. And I also will know how much of this is going to use, so I'll know how much to have on hand. Okay, make sure you close your baggie really good. Now we're just shaking it. It says just shake it. Making shaking, but got all the good spices on it. Oh no, we need the big cookie sheet because we got all those pork chops and the rack. Then you put the foil, the metal rack on top. Alrighty. I want to make sure it all gets mixed good, all the corners, everything else. Thank you, honey. Oh, it looks good. You can see all the seasonings in it. See that? You can see all the seasonings in it. Give myself some more room here. I can see some white flakes. We didn't get any mixed in, so I'm trying to mix that all up good. Okay, so I think we're done. Now I'm going to go to the, yeah, that's it. Now I'm going to go to the island. I'm going to move you over there, but I'm going to get my egg, my half an egg and my half a milk so I can do my egg wash to dip each top in so it stays coated. So we'll bring you back and then I'll bring you back to that phase and then we'll do the taste test. Okay, now we're going to the mix. And I'm pretty sure I have a lot more mix. And I'm going to look to see if I don't know with the oil, if I can put this in the fridge or not. Probably can't, but oh well. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. I should have just stuck with my original plan because I think there's going to be more mix than needed for this. But at least this way I'll know how much this makes and I'll know how many chops it'll coat for a future reference because I can just label that on the bag so that way no wasting. So here are my chops. We order these, we usually always order them in bulk. We buy them at the store. And I'm leaving the fat on the sides because on chops, I don't mind that. But let me go ahead and put that in there because I don't want it to soak in that blood that's already been soaking. Again, like I said earlier, I had already taken these out yesterday. Oh, these chops have bone in them. Okay, so 2 are boneless and 2 have a bone. That's okay. We can work. You work with what you got, right? Okay, put that bloody yucky thing in there. You know what? Let me get me another container to store these chops in until they get coated. Okay, so I've got one already in the egg and milk mixture. Oh, I want to spray this. Wash my hands. I want to spray this with cooking oil so it doesn't stick so much. It's going to stick anyway because it's bacon, but it won't stick as much on when you spray your this little racky thing. There's a name for it, but I don't know. Okay, so let me get my close to my coating. Ooh, man, that looks good. You know what, I'm going to do a little taste test. I made this with my fresh, dry, dehydrated breadcrumbs. Yeah, you can definitely taste, oh man, you can taste the garlic. I can taste the onion. That, I think, is going to have a good flavor to it. So there we go. Let me lay that down. And then let me do the other one. I'm going to do one of these. I'm going to do one double dip on the egg wash. And another double dip on the crumbs, the mix. And let's see if we get a different, if more of the mix stays on here. Man, I can still taste that flavor of all those spices. That is a good mix. Okay. So now I'm going to do a double soak. And then I'm going to do a dip it back into the mix. Okay, yeah, you can see me. So now I'm just dipping it. It's going to be double coated. Kind of what I do with my fried chicken. I double coat my fried chicken. And man, it's such a good, but I do my fried chicken in oil. I don't do the low-cal method. Well, by baking it, I don't. Okay, that way I'll know that one is the one that got double coated. Now we're going to do another one with this one, single coat, and the other one will be double coat. Boy, I can still taste those flavors. I think this is a win-win with this mix. I just hope that it stays and it's got a good flavor once the whole thing is baked. Because of course bacon has a lot to do with it too. And I want to make sure I got all the chop coated. So when you take a bite into it, and let's lay this one. This is a big pork chop. Now I'm going to put some of this coating on the top half, because that's going to get toasty brown because it's on the top. And with that being on the rack, it's going to it's still going to cook underneath it. It's not going to be the same as the top part, but that's okay. Alrighty, now let's do this one, and we're going to double coat this. So let's get our egg wash. Woo! I just spilt it. Let's strip some of this excess off. My oven's ready. We're going to bake it at 350 from anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes, and the time difference depends on the thickness of your pork chops. Okay, so I'm going to set my timer for 20 minutes, then I'll check them. And I'm pretty sure the chicken breast with no bone will definitely be cooked sooner than the one with the bone. But I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it will. Okay, now let's do a double coat. Turn it around. Okay. This is going to go in the garbage, on the garbage disposal. Let me get myself a little bit more of the mix. And let's sprinkle some more mix on here. But look at how much mix I had left. I had enough left for 2 more batches. Maybe one more batch, not one more batch of 4. I got my milk spills. Okay. I'm squishing down with the fork so all the crumbs stay in there. Move everything to the corner. That way I can sprinkle the crumbs on top. And see how some of my crumbs, my homemade breadcrumbs, are bigger than the rest? That's okay, because they're still gonna be crunchy. And with all these flavors all over everything, that's gonna be some good eating. Okay. Hey, and this one's gonna be over here next to that one. So the 2 on the end are a single coat. The 2 in the middle are double coat. That's going to go in the trash can because I don't want to plug up my sink. So let's put them in the oven. And then we'll get the au gratin potatoes ready. Let me set my timer, clean up my little mess, and then we'll bring you back when I do the au gratin potatoes. Okay? That's going to go in the wash. We'll bring you back. Okay, we are back. And look all that I had left. We ended up using the 4 chops. I should have stuck with my first original instinct was not to put the oil in here so I could save this mix for another batch. But I didn't. But while I was waiting for the mix to chops to bake, I went ahead and made another batch. And I just put a little on here, add 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil to the mix. Because this is about the same equivalent that it took to coat these 4 pork chops. So this should be about enough to coat 4 more, and it's already ready. All you got to do is add oil, mix it up, and you're good to go. So we work with what we have, right? Now, the one over here was a single cut. The one down here was a double coated one. So let's do the taste test. My au gratin potatoes, we didn't have enough time. It was going to take an hour. And I'm exhausted from the day. I don't have time, so I just turned it into mashed potatoes. So let's do a quick taste bit. This is my single 1 coating. You can taste the coating. It's got just a little bit of crunch, not very much. And I'm sure it's because of the oil from the chops and then the oil in the mix. But, look at that. See that? And then these 3 I cut off a hubby's pork chop because this is the double coated pork chop. But my latest thing is flavor. Oh! I just took a bite. And I could taste the coating. One, I could taste the garlic, the onion, the parsley. I can taste all those seasonings, and it's crunch, 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 crunch. So that was really good. Now here's a corner end piece of hubby's that was double coated. You can definitely taste the crunch. I can taste the flavoring, the seasonings. Let's see how my mashed potatoes, that should have been au gratin potatoes, turned out. Very, very, very good. So, I say this turned out to be another easy, quick, hearty meal, which I think is a 2 thumbs up, even though I kind of boo-booed a little bit, especially with my potatoes, but I'll make a scallop potato on another video. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you at the next one. Take care now. Bye-bye. Don't forget to share my videos with your friends and family.